Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 4A State Softball Championship between Newton County Cougars and the Houston Toppers. And the Houston Hilltoppers, rather. It's going to be a great game tonight. Houston leads the series 1-0. They won yesterday's contest 10-7, and it'll be a big game this afternoon. From Freedom Ridge Park in Ridgeland, Justin Bennett alongside Bryant May. Welcome to the state championships here for the state of Mississippi on the MHSAA network as we get ready for a game between Houston and Newton County. We'll look first at the starting lineups for the visiting team this afternoon, the Newton County Cougars.
Leading off for Newton County will be the catcher, number 16, Shelby Bishop. She'll be followed by the third baseman, Emily Davis. Darby Bishop will be in the 3-hole, followed by Ashton Lampton, Savannah Gates, Samantha Gunn, the first baseman, Shay Alexander, the right fielder, Abby Reeves, and the second baseman, Letizia Davis. We'll get to more starting lineups later in the broadcast.
First up to bat today for Newton County is Shelby Bishop. She's the leadoff hitter. She takes strike one right over the heart of the plate.
Bishop comes into the contest hitting .416. She's got 42 hits, 27 RBIs, and 8 doubles on the year.
And that last pitch just on the inside corner. 1-1 the count. That pitch low and in the dirt. A beautiful day for softball here. A little warm. Temperatures in the low 90s expected this afternoon. This is our second game to do today. First game for these two teams. That ball popped up to right field. Right fielder is there in time. And Madeline Burdine makes the catch for out number one.
Coming to the plate for Newton County is number 2, Emily Davis.
For the Houston Hilltoppers, Mary Kansas Sullivan, Josie Anderson, and Madeline Burdine in the outfield. Taylor Lancaster, Chelsea Gates, Avery Springer, and Audie Dindy from third to first. Yasmin Cooper behind the plate, and Haley Gravatt on the mound. Gravatt's pitch there outside for ball one.
Emily Davis hitting .491 on the year. She's got 25 RBIs, and she does have one long ball.
1-1 the count. That pitch high.
On the hill for Houston is Haley Gravatt. Gravatt comes in with a 0.00 ERA.
That ball grounded to second. Fields throws in time. A good play there from Avery Springer for out number 2.
2 out. Next up for Newton County, number 15, Darby Bishop.
Darby Bishop up next. Darby, the pitcher today, takes strike one.
Bishop hitting .416 on the year with 27 RBIs. She sprinkled in 8 doubles.
That ball hit well down the right field line. Right fielder in foul territory makes the play in time for out number 3. Fly out to the right fielder in foul territory ends the inning for the Newton County Cougars.
Let's take this opportunity to look at the starting lineups for the home team, the Houston Hilltoppers. Leading off for them is the shortstop Chelsea Gates, followed by the left fielder M.K. Sullivan. In the 3-hole today is the pitcher Haley Gravatt, followed by the cleanup hitter Audie Dindy, followed by Avery Springer, Yasmin Cooper, the right fielder Madeline Burdine. The flex player today will be J.D. Laufenberg. And rounding up the Houston lineup today will be the third baseman Taylor Lancaster.
As we mentioned at the start of the broadcast this afternoon, the Houston Hilltoppers won 10-7 in game 1 of this series yesterday. They have a 1-0 series lead and are looking to clinch the 4A state championship this afternoon. Looking at how these teams got here, Houston started their playoff, won that series easily 2-0, followed by a round 2 matchup with Corinth, which they also won 2-0. Paired them up against Pontotoc for the North Half State Championship. They won that series 2-1. For the Newton County Cougars, they started against Purvis. They won that game, went on to face Poplarville in round 2. went on to play West Lauderdale in round 3 and beat West Lauderdale 2-1 in that series to show up here for the state championship in 4A. Stepping in now is Chelsea Gates. She'll lead off things for the Houston Hilltoppers. She takes strike 1 on the inside part of the plate.
Gates comes in hitting .387 on the year. She's got 43 hits and 132 plate appearances.
That ball low and in the dirt. 1-1 now the count on the shortstop, Chelsea Gates.
Chelsea only a sophomore for Coach Keith Jernigan's Houston Lady Hilltoppers.
Houston wearing maroon pants, white jerseys with maroon letters, numbers. That ball popped up and out of play. Houston not too far from Starkville, home of Mississippi State University, and these colors and uniforms resemble the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Cougars have on gray pants, orange jerseys, blue letters and numbers across the front, white trim. Newton County Cougars from Decatur, Mississippi.
On the mound for Newton County, Darby Bishop. Bishop comes into today's contest with a 1.94 ERA. She's got 20 earned runs allowed on the year. Opponent's hitting .241.
That ball popped to the second baseman. Davis there in time for out number 2. Looking at the defensive alignment for Newton County, Hannah May, Savannah Gates, and Abby Reeves in the outfield. Emily Davis, Ashton Lampton, Letitia Davis, and Shay Alexander from third to first. Shelby Bishop behind the plate, and Darby Bishop, you just gave her stats on the mound. They are actually sisters. The battery for Newton County, sisters this afternoon. Samantha Dunn is their designated hitter. Brings up Mary Kansas Sullivan.
Bishop with a 7-3 record on the year in 12 appearances. She's got 8 complete games to her record. She splits most of the pitching duty with Lampton along with Davis.
That pitch on the outside part of the plate, strike 2 on M.K. Sullivan, the left fielder. Her name is Mary Kansas, goes by M.K. That ball way outside. A ball and 2 strikes now the count on M.K. Sullivan.
A few clouds have creeped into the sky here at Freedom Ridge Park, but absolutely gorgeous afternoon for state championship softball.
That ball hit well to left field. Left fielder drifts back, is there in time. Hannah May squeezes it for out number 2. 2 outs in the inning now for Haley Gravatt.
Gravatt comes into today hitting .371 on the year. She's got 39 hits, which does include 1 home run. So a little bit of power from your pitcher. Not the biggest girl in stature, but a quick bat.
Popped up to second. Davis there in time for out number 3. They go down in order. Do the Houston Hilltoppers 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. We'll be back with the second inning right here on the MHSAA network. Welcome back to the 4A State Championship Fast Pitch Softball Tournament from Freedom Ridge Park in Ridgeland. Justin Bennett alongside Bryant May here on the MHSAA Network. Newton County and Houston playing in today's contest. 1-1 the count on Ashton Lampton. Lampton the shortstop for the Newton County Cougars.
Lampton hitting .441 on the year.
Ball fouled back off and out of play.
She's got 5 doubles and 2 home runs, hitting in the cleanup spot for Coach Justin Cheney's Newton County Lady Cougars.
Haley Gravatt, the pitcher for the Houston Hilltoppers, set down the Cougars in order 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. Looking to do the same here in the second. Fouled back and out of play. Right at us. I was ready.
Glove hand was ready.
Glove hand was ready.
Mr. Bennett was ready.
Glove hand was ready. A ball and 2 strikes to count on Lampton, the Newton County shortstop. That ball hit well down the line, hooking foul.
Wow.
That's a long foul ball that if it was about, 10 feet or so the other direction.
Ashton Lampton clearly showed her power on that one, jumping all over that Haley Gravatt pitch, sending it deep to left field, but no damage done. She'll step back in, still down, 1 ball and 2 strikes in the count.
The long strike, the pitch, fouled back and out of play. Lampton swinging hard, making contact, just needs to straighten it out. A ball and 2 strikes here in the second inning. First batter of the second inning for the Cougars. Grounded back to the pitcher. Great play there by Darby Bishop. By Haley Gravatt, throws across in time for out number 1 here in the second inning.
Fantastic job by Haley Gravatt, as you said. Not much reaction time as she's not too far away from home plate, and that one came back in a hurry, but she does a great job of reaching over with her right hand with a glove on it, making the stab and throwing a strike over to Audie Dindy at first base.
Center fielder Gates bunts it down the third base line, throws across. Great play by Taylor Lancaster, throwing across to Audie Dindy in time for out number 2. A bang play on the little swinging bunt that she sent down the third base line.
And Taylor Lancaster shows why Coach Keith Jernigan has her over at third base as she comes up, makes a fantastic play, and throws a bullet to Audie Dindy at first base to catch the speedy Gates.
Samantha Dunn steps in. This afternoon.
Gunn hitting 150 on the year. She's got 12 hits and 99 plate appearances.
Dunn acts as if she's going to square to bunt, pulls the bat back, swings away, fouls it off down the third baseline. No balls, 2 strikes to count on the DH, Samantha Dunn. Gravatt comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Outside. A ball and 2 strikes now.
Gravatt clearly carries the load on the mound for the Lady Hilltoppers. She's got a 31-2 record in 33 appearances this year.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. She strikes them out. Strikes out Samantha Dunn, sets down the Newton County Lady Cougars in order 1-2-3. We'll head to the bottom half now of the second inning, still scoreless. And Bryant, this a lot of points scored last night, a lot of runs scored, 10-7 the final. But today so far, these pitchers have come out and set them down in order 1-2-3 in both innings.
That's right. Gravatt and Bishop doing their job on the mounds. And we talk about the fact this is a best-of-3 series. Houston won last night's game, as you said, a lot of runs scored, 10-7. So this could be the deciding game for them. They could take home the 4A state championship and what would be probably a little bit of an upset. Newton County comes into this game ranked 26th in the nation with a 28-5 record after their loss last night. Number 3 ranked in the state of Mississippi. And so a really, really good team down I-20. But the Houston Lady Hilltoppers not causing them to blink at all as Haley Gravatt's come in throwing strikes after a big win last night, looking to pick up the 4A state championship, take that back home to Houston.
We've already had some state championships awarded today here at Freedom Ridge. Wayne County won the 5A state title a few minutes ago. Bryant and I watched that game end. Audie Dindy steps in here in the 4A title game. He takes ball 1 to lead off the bottom half of the second inning. But congratulations to Wayne County.
Also to Madison Central, who picked up the 6A state championship.
2 titles down. 4 to go.
Dindy,
2 balls, no strikes on Dindy.
Dindy hitting .356 on the year. She's in 118 plate appearances as that one carries off foul. 11 doubles on the year for the cleanup hitter for Coach Keith Jernigan's Hilltoppers.
Dindy plays first base for the Lady Hilltoppers. Two and 1 the count. That ball inside. A true hitter's count now. 3 balls, 1 strike. To the first baseman, Dindy. That ball fouled off her fist. Bishop came inside with that pitch. Dindy, good job there protecting the plate.
Wide age range on Coach Keith Jernigan's Lady Hilltopper team. Got 4 or 5 seniors there on a big roster. A few 8th graders sprinkled in, as in high school fast pitch softball, 8th graders can play up with the varsity team.
That's right. Dindy draws the walk. She's the first base runner of the afternoon for either team. That brings up Avery Springer, the second baseman. Springer squares to bunt, but they'll say she got it back in time and it hit her. She'll take her base.
Say it hit her on the left arm. First base coach not really checking her out. Springer just kind of waving her arm. She'll take the base however she can. Runners on first and second and nobody out here as Houston threatens in the bottom of the second.
Bishop comes set, the pitch. Strike 1 on the inside corner. Yasmin Cooper.
Yasmin Cooper hitting .280 on the year. She does have 21 hits in 92 plate appearances.
Strike 2 called. Great pitch from Darby Bishop.
One of those nasty off-speed pitches. Man. Cooper looking for what I'm sure was the fastball so she could turn around on it, and Darby Bishop takes a lot off of that one for a strike.
Fouled, backing out of play. You and I talked last night about guys that say, I could play fast pitch softball. It's, that ball's coming in, not a big deal. It's a bigger ball, that kind of thing. But, man, when they take the bottom out of it and it's an off-speed, it is a wicked pitch.
And with a decrease in distance from the plate to the mound like there is in Major League Baseball.
Right.
Once you average it out and do all the math, which is way above my head.
Big home run from Ashton Lampton brings Newton County within 1, 3-2. Houston leads. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. And Bryant, this is a game, after so many runs scored last night, 17 total runs in the contest between these two teams, really coming out today and having a low-scoring contest, good pitching on both sides. And it's going to be a tough. The winner of this series is going to have earned their state championship without a doubt.
That's exactly right. Bishop and Gravatt doing a great job on the mound, and they've kept the bats silent for the most part. Little rally back in the second inning for Houston. Newton County able to put one on the board in the 3rd and then another one there on the board in the top of the 4th. But as we head to the bottom of the 4th, still anybody's game as Houston only leads by 1. Again, this is Game 2, best of 3 series for the 4A state championship. Should Houston hang on to this lead, they will take the trophy back to Houston. But Newton County trying to do everything they can to force a decisive Game 3 that would happen later this afternoon. Don't forget your broadcast being brought to you courtesy of the MHSAA network powered by Play On Sports. You can get your DVD copy of today's game right there on the website to keep for years to come.
The DH, Jody Leffenberger, steps in.
Jody lined back to Bishop, the pitcher, back in the second inning. Hits that one foul down the third baseline.
No balls, 2 strikes to count on the DH. A warm afternoon at Freedom Ridge Park. That ball high. A ball and 2 strikes now, the count.
Really good turnout of fans traveling over from Newton County and down from Houston to witness what could be the state championship game.
2-2 the count now. These teams, this is their first game today. Played first game in the series last night. Ball fouled back, out of play. As we've said all along, Houston leads the series 1-0. That ball popped up to the first baseman. Alexander there.
No, Bishop actually cuts in front of her, yeah.
Bishop runs over, cuts in front, and makes the play.
Almost a little bit of a dangerous situation there.
Bishop says, I'll take that. Brings up Taylor Lancaster. First pitch to Lancaster in there for a strike.
Lancaster singled to right field on a solid base hit. Back at her first plate appearance in the second inning.
That ball low, 1-1 now the count.
Great setup by the MHSAA here. The whole environment at Freedom Ridge Park. Got bleachers all the way around the outfield. Some tents set up straight away in center, as some people have turned this into all-day affair.
Ball outside, 2 balls and a strike. The count on Taylor Lancaster, the third baseman. That ball hits ground to the third, throws across, does Emily Davis to Shea Alexander in time to get the out.
Great job by Emily Davis coming up, making the squeeze and throwing a strike across the diamond to retire the speedy Taylor Lancaster.
Going to bring up Chelsea Gates, the leadoff hitter.
Gates 1 for 2 on the afternoon, also with an RBI. She had an infield single back in the third that was able to plate 1 run.
That's a strike over the outside part of the plate. 1-1 the count on Gates. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. That pitch hit just over the first baseman's glove into right field. Alexander squared up as if she was going to make the play. A one-handed grab, and it just scooted off of her glove out into right field. That'll probably be an error on the first baseman.
Yeah, you wonder if Shea Alexander was trying to walk to the dugout before she squeezed the ball. Normally a play she would definitely make, but it caroms off the top of her glove, and Gates reaches, and here's the dangerous M.K. Sullivan.
First pitch to Sullivan, away outside for ball 1. One of those situations, Alexander just put her glove up as if it was just going to be a standard normal catch. Skipped off the top of the glove into right field. Swing and a miss, evens a count at a ball and a strike on M.K. Sullivan.
M.K. Sullivan batting in the 2-hole, only a freshman for Coach Keith Jernigan, but clearly gotten a lot of experience this year in their 35 ball games.
Grounded to third. Davis fields, throws across in time for out number 3. So the error proves to be not too costly. Houston still leads 3-2. We'll be back after this. You're watching the 4A Softball State Championship on the MHSAA Network, powered by Play On Sports. Welcome back to the 4A Softball State Championship right here on the MHSAA Network, powered by Play On Sports. Houston leads 3-2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. That ball hit right back to where it came from. Gavette throws to first in time for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Abby Reeves liked what she saw and able to make real solid contact. Just bounces it right back to the pitcher, Gravatt, who does her job, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Leticia Davis, who had a bunt single back in the 3rd.
Davis, a left-handed batter, squares and bunts again. Bunts this one foul down the 3rd base line.
Gravatt, as we see, or excuse me, Davis, as we've seen with so many of these fast pitch lady players, trying to take advantage of the left-handed batter's box and use that little drag bunt where you already start running before you actually make contact to try to get you down to first base as fast as possible.
That ball hit well to right field. Burdine comes on. No, second baseman rather. Avery Springer goes out, makes the play for out number 2.
Great job by Springer backing up from her position. Burdine didn't look like she may be able to get there, but she's playing a pretty deep right field. So Springer able to fill in the gap and squeeze that one for out number 2.
Brings up Shelby Bishop. Strike. First pitch, a strike to her.
Bishop 0 for 2 this afternoon, but she does have an RBI on a sac fly back in the 3rd inning to her credit for one of Newton County's 2 runs.
One and one the count. On the catcher, Shelby Bishop. Ball low and inside, 2-1. That ball hit well to right field. Burdine is there in time for out number 3. She hit the ball well, did Shelby Bishop, but right to Madeline Burdine, who was there to squeeze it, and for out number 3.
Yeah, fantastic play by Burdine. As you said, Bishop jumped all over that one. It looked like Burdine's first step was in. As an outfielder, you typically want your first step to be back. And it looked like it could fly over Burdine's head, but able to use that height that she has to squeeze that one above her head for out number 3. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Houston's got 2 more chances to score some runs should they hold on to the lead, but Newton County down to their last 6 outs at the plate. The number 26 ranked team nationally, number 3 ranked team in the state, could see the state championship sliding out of their hands as Houston already with a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series for the 4A Fast Pitch Softball State Championship.
Houston has played very well this afternoon. They played great last night. Able to score 10 runs last night. Have put some solid hitting there together today. They lead 3-2, but would love to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Houston only 2 losses on the year. One of those comes to New Hope, which played in the 5A State Championship series here. The other loss coming to Pontotoc back on May the 12th. So they have done a fantastic job of rebounding after the loss on May the 12th to advance all the way here to the state championship with a 1-0 lead.
MK Sullivan will step in. She's flied out to left twice today. No, excuse me, I'm incorrect. This is Haley Gravett, the pitcher.
Haley 0 for 2 on the afternoon. She's got to pop up to second base and also an error on the third baseman, Emily Davis, on a ball in the gap last time.
She hits that ball into the gap between second and first, slides into first base, safe. Wow, a little blooper, kind of dribbles in between the gap between the first baseman and second baseman. Leticia Davis has to go towards first base to make the play, and a quick flip to the first baseman, Alexander, but not before the sliding Gravett gets in before the tag. Bunted to the pitcher. Pitcher throws to second in time.
Fantastic fundamental play there by Darby Bishop. Dindy, the cleanup hitter, lays down a great bunt, but Bishop fields it and throws really, really quickly to the covering shortstop, Ashton Lampton, to retire Haley Gravatt, who just showed the wills that she had on the previous play, but Bishop throws a strike to second base to cut off the lead runner.
Springer steps in now. We have timeout is called.
Looks like we're looking to see if we're going to make a substitute.
We are.
Number 23 for Houston will come out to pinch run for Dindy. Number 23, that's Alexis McShann, only an 8th grader.
McShann will run for Dindy. We'll see if Dindy re-enters the game in the top half of the 6th.
Houston coaching staff looking to try to get another run across and stretch this one-run lead out.
That ball, first pitch outside for a ball to Avery Springer, the second baseman, who has played some solid defense this afternoon. That ball, a blooper to the shortstop, who's there. Lampton makes the play in time for out number 2.
Great show of Ashton Lampton, pretty much up the middle, but able to slide over into the gap and squeeze that little pop-up.
Yasmin Cooper steps in now. Just hit into a fielder's choice and the infield fly that we had such discussions about back in the 3rd inning.
She lines the first pitch foul out of play on the first base side.
Runner at first, 2 outs. Ball outside.
Cloud covering has hid the sun here for at least a few minutes to provide some temporary relief. Temperatures reaching almost 90 degrees this afternoon.
2 balls and a strike now, the count on Cooper, the catcher. That ball high and outside, 3-1.
Darby really doesn't want to lose Cooper here. Next up should have to face Madeline Burdine, the right fielder, who's got 2 RBIs already in today's game.
Right back to the pitcher. Darby throws to first in time to get the 3rd out. So no runs that inning. Houston has a 3-2 lead. We'll head to the 6th. You're watching the 4A State Championship on the MHSAA Network, powered by Play On Sports. Welcome back to the 4A Softball State Championship Tournament on the MHSAA Network, powered by Play On Sports. Houston leads 3-2 over Newton County as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Newton County down to their last 6 outs. They want to try to keep contending for this state title.
Due up here for Newton County in the top of the 6th will be the 2-3-4 hitters, Davis, Bishop, and Lampton.
Davis pops out to the shortstop for out number 1. Chelsea Gates there in time.
Just looking for base runners is Coach Justin Cheney. Again, the third-ranked team in the state, trying to force this series to decisive game 3.
Bishop sends that one to the gap in right center field. Burdine comes up throwing back into second base, but it's a stand-up double for the pitcher, Darby Bishop.
And she says, girls, if nobody's going to do anything about this, I will. She jumped all over that Haley Gravatt fastball, sent it deep to the fence. Great job by Burdine and Anderson out there in the outfield to grab that one and get it back in as quickly as possible.
We'll have a courtesy runner for her.
Runner.
It looks like number 34.
Number 34 for Newton County will be Lindsay Savelle. Lindsay's a 5'8" sophomore. She'll come in to run for the pitcher, Darby Bishop.
Ashton Lampton will be at the plate. 1 out. They're in the top half of the 6th inning.
Coach Justin Cheney, realizing that a base hit could tie this ball game, puts in the speedy pinch runner.
That ball fouled out of play quickly. No balls, 1 strike. That pitch hit deep and foul.
Wow, that definitely would have equaled a tie ball game right there. Ashton Lampton, the cleanup hitter, jumped all over that Haley Gravatt pitch and just bending foul. Headed down to warm up is number 2, Emily Davis for Newton County. Not sure if she'll come in to replace Darby Bishop, who's being pinch run for here in the top of the 6th.
No balls, 2 strikes to count on the cleanup hitter, Ashton Lampton. The 0-2 outside, a ball and 2 strikes now to count.
That pitch really close from Gravatt on catching the outside corner and picking up her 2nd strikeout of the afternoon.
The 1-2. Fouled, hit well to right field. Right fielder in foul territory makes the play. Runner will tag and move to third. Coming to the plate. Not in time is the throw, and we have a tie ball game. Newton County has tied it up with aggressive base running.
Lindsay Savelle coming all the way from second base on a pop fly to right field. Madeline Burdine, great job of getting over and making the catch. She throws it in. The second baseman, Avery Springer, cuts it off. Has a little bit of a bobble, and head coach Justin Cheney waves around Savelle, and she slides in safe to tie up game 2 in the 4A state championship.
The new ball game as Savannah Gates steps in. They'll appeal at second base to see if she tagged up, and she did. Gravatt looks to be, I think she knew she tagged up, but the coaches asked her to throw back there anyway. First pitch into Gates is a ball. A ball and no strikes to count. That ball fisted out into left field for a base hit. Hit that right off the base of the bat. Does Savannah Gates. That'll put her at first for Samantha Dunn.
And Justin, it seems that the Newton County Lady Cougars have kind of found a little bit of a groove here against Haley Gravatt. You wonder if she's got to be fatiguing out here in the heat as we head to the top of the 6th, or as we're in the top of the 6th inning. Got in 3 really good hits, the last 3 with Bishop, Lampton, and Gates all getting the bat on the ball.
First pitch to Dunn, very high in the.
You can see Gravatt as we talk about the emotions of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls, and coaching staff for Houston will call timeout as he sees the discouragement on his pitcher's face. Going to go out there and give her a little bit of a pep talk. The rest of the infield hangs tight right where they are. He dusts off the rubber and feeding a little encouragement to his senior leader.
Yeah, his senior leader looks a little down, and I think he recognizes that. He's the only one having the conversation with her. Her team stays in their positions across the field.
Gravatt still kind of staring discouragingly down at the dirt. Not looking like a whole lot of signs of life. Batter at the plate, still good.
Samantha Dunn steps back in. One ball, no strikes. 2-0 now the count on Dunn. That's a strike in there. 2-1.
The Houston crowd over to our right on the first base side responds with a little encouragement of their own for Haley Gravatt.
That ball grounded to short. Fields throws across. Out.
Fantastic scoop by Audie Dindy. Chelsea Gates comes up and fields the ground ball. No chance to get the runner sliding into second. She throws it towards first, but throw comes up short and skips over there. Audie Dindy with a great job of stretching and stabbing that one to retire the speedy Samantha Gunn. And we'll head to the bottom of the sixth, Justin. All tied up now, 3-3 in game two.
Tied. 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Newton County. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Houston Lady Hilltoppers. And we've got a brand new game here as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Houston leads the series 1-0 after their 10-7 victory last night. They'll come back to the plate hoping to add some more runs to the scoreboard.
We'll see Darby Bishop, number 15 for Newton County, remain on the mound as Coach Justin Cheney had Emily Davis warming up a little bit earlier out in the outfield, but he opts to stay with Darby Bishop after she was pinch run for. She comes up with a really big double there in the top of the 6th inning, which was able to ultimately equal the tying run, and she'll stay on the mound and try to do it now with her arm, try to limit the Houston Hilltopper bats.
Madeline Burdine will step in as the first batter this inning. She hits that ball right back up the middle to center field for a base hit. A solid single to lead off the bottom half of the 6th for Madeline Burdine.
Huge afternoon this afternoon for the number 7 hitter in the Houston lineup, Madeline Burdine. She had a single back in the 2nd, picked up 2 RBIs. Another single there. She's now 2 for 3 in the afternoon's game. Looks like we'll have another substitution on the Houston side. Houston coaches discussing if they want to send in a pinch runner, or we may have a pinch hitter here for number 44, Jody Laufenberg, the DH. Jody's 0 for 3 in this afternoon's contest. Great job by our camera crews there, getting a shot of the discussion between the Houston coaches. And it looks like we will have a substitution.
Josie Anderson. She'll bat.
So Josie Anderson, who has been what they call, I believe, the flex player here in fast pitch, who's also playing center field, she'll slide in and actually go ahead and take her plate appearance in place of Jody Laufenberg.
She squares to bunt. Strike 1. Runner at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Tie ball game. Houston looking to win this series with a win in this game.
Anderson with pretty good wheels, as we've already seen out there in the outfield. May try to lay down a bunt here. The corners, 1st and 3rd for the Newton County infield, playing in, expecting the bunt.
Bunted to first, and a great play there by the first baseman, Shay Alexander, to come in, field it, turn around, and throw it back to Letitia Davis.
As you said, great play by Alexander. She comes off, and the bunt was really right on the line. Josie Anderson had to run around Alexander. She had a chance to pick it up and tag her, but she kind of bobbles it a little bit, but picks it up, composes herself, and throws a strike to Davis, who was covering, to retire Josie Anderson.
That brings up Taylor Lancaster. She hits the ball to third. Scoop. Unable to make the play. Unable to make the scoop.
Wow.
Safe down at second. Wow, bang, bang play. Hits the ball to third, throws across to first. The runner is safe. Runner moves from second to third in the process. Throw goes back to third. Runner moves from first to second. Safe there as well, throwing it all around the field. But everybody's safe. Runners now at second and third with only one out for Chelsea Gates.
Incredible game by the freshman in the 9-hole, Taylor Lancaster. Now 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Aggressive base running there to beat out the throw. Great scoop by Alexander on the throw from Davis. And then, as you said, Justin, Lancaster goes ahead and says, I'll take second as well.
I'll take second.
Davis threw a BB to the second baseman, Davis, who was covering. It looked like they would have been able to get Lancaster for the second out of the inning, but unable to do so. And Coach Justin Cheney seen enough. He calls his infield in and says, girls, we've got to pull off what might be a little bit of a miracle here with runners on second and third and only one out to prevent Houston from again taking the lead here in game 2 of the 4A state championship softball series.
Coach Cheney heads back to the dugout. The Bishop sisters continue their conversation for just a few minutes as Shelby comes back behind the plate. Runners at second and third, only one out. Tie ball game. Chelsea Gates steps back in.
Coach Cheney has pulled his infield in. Is any contact? Now ball gets away from Bishop at the plate.
The ball gets away from Shelby Bishop. Madeline Burdine scores. And just like that, Houston takes the lead again, 4-3.
Not exactly what Coach Justin Cheney had in mind when he pulled his infill in. That pitch gets away from who's been really, really trusty, Shelby Bishop, on her behalf. Her sister Darby kind of skipped that one up there to her, and it bounces off the plate. Houston able to take advantage of it, and they take a 4-3 lead once again here in the bottom of the 6th inning with
Two
Lancaster
balls.
now on third.
That's right, Lancaster on third. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Pitch outside, 3-1 now to Chelsea Gates. Lancaster stands on third base as another insurance run. That one gets away from
Bishop.
And Lancaster will cross home plate. Houston now will take a 5-3 lead. And just like that,
Not what
2 runs back.
Not what you would expect at all, Justin, from a nationally ranked softball team and a number 3 ranked team here in the state, but Houston will take it any way they can get it. Gates takes the walk on that last pitch as well, so she'll be at first base now for the number 2 hole hitter, M.K. Sullivan.
Sullivan steps in with 1 out, runner at first base. That ball popped up to first. Easy play for Alexander, 2 outs. You can feel the excitement on this Houston side as they sit to our right. They can see the 4A state title in their grasp, but would like to get a few more insurance runs if at all possible. Gravette steps in and sends the ball to center field. And Savannah Gates is there in time for out number 3, but not before Houston puts 2 more runs on the board. They take a 5-3 lead as we head to the 7th. Is Houston on their way to their 4A state championship? We'll see right after this. You're watching the MHSAA Network, powered by Play On Sports. Welcome back to the 4A State Championship Tournament. The Houston Hilltoppers have a 5-3 lead in the top of the 7th on their quest to upset Newton County and win the 4A State Championship. An 0-2 count now.
On the first baseman, Shea Alexander. Justin, really interesting to see the demeanor now on Haley Gravatt, who was really struggling last inning as Newton County tied it up, but she seems to have her composure back, taking some deep breaths and willing and dealing some real heat out there as we head into the 7th inning.
She sees, she knows what's at the end of this inning. They're 3 outs away from a state championship. That ball fouled back and out of play. She is determined as she stands on the pitcher's mound.
The sun has crept out from behind the clouds here at Freedom Ridge Park and looks like could be the light at the end of the tunnel for the Houston Hilltoppers to cap off a 33-2 season to bring home a state championship to Coach Keith Jernigan and the city of Houston.
A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch hit well to right field for a base hit.
Fantastic play by Madeline Burdine.
Madeline with a huge throw into the first baseman. And just like that, Audie Dindy steps on the bag. And Shea Alexander goes back to the dugout as out number 1.
Great play by the right fielder, Madeline Burdine, who's made some incredible catches down there on the line. She comes up firing, Audie Dindy ready to go. And the first base umpire rings up Shea Alexander for a massive out number 1, which could have been base runners. But instead, Alexander goes back to the dugout and Gravatt wheels and deals more strikes.
Gravatt's first pitch to Reeves is a strike. 2 outs away. That ball down the line, foul. Strike 2. That's an amazing play from Madeline Burdine and Audie Dindy.
You don't know if Alexander backed off a little bit, assuming that she had a single.
I'm just going to coast to the bag. You just don't know.
It looked like she was running full speed, but Burdine just made an excellent play out there in right field.
Gravatt's pitch fouled off, out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. The count on Reeves.
4 strikes away is Haley Gravatt from leading her team to a 4A state championship.
Davis is the next batter due up. That ball fouled off. Out of play. Over by the Newton County Cougar dugout.
Number of people have gathered around here, all the way around the field, sensing could be the crowning of yet another champion here at Freedom Ridge Park in Ridgeland, Mississippi.
Gravatt comes set. Reeves steps back in. That ball hit well into the gap into right field again. Burdine comes up throwing. I think you see Reeves learned her lesson from watching the previous batter as she runs hard to first base. She'll stand at first base for Leticia Davis.
Davis 1 for 2 on the afternoon, has a bunt single from the left-handed side of the plate. Back in the 3rd inning, she's also popped to the second baseman, Avery Springer.
Davis, the left-handed batter, steps in. Runner at first, 1 out. First pitch is high for ball 1.
The corners, Lancaster and Dindy, playing in tight for Houston, anticipating a potential bunt from Davis.
That ball inside. 2 balls, no strikes. See a little frustration from Haley Gravatt. She'll step in a little closer to the plate, does the batter. Strike 1. Davis kind of had been playing, sitting back in the batter's box, but has now stepped up to crowd the plate a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on her. Gravatt comes set, and the pitch. She bunts the ball right in front of home plate, a great bunt. She uses her speed and gets down the line. She will represent the tying run as she stands on first base.
And that'll take us back to the top of the order in Shelby Bishop, the catcher, who's already got a sac fly RBI back in the 3rd inning. And she equals the go-ahead run, should she be able to get a hold of one and take it deep.
Shelby Bishop steps in the left-handed batter's box as Gravatt comes set. First pitch to her is popped to right. Burdine is there, makes the play, throws it in quickly. Shortstop fields it.
Wow, very costly play there. Very costly play. Burdine does a great job of making the catch, but you want to hold Davis, who equals the tying runner. You want to hold her to first base, but no one covering second. It's Gates, the shortstop, ends up being the cutoff player, and now runners on second and third. Big situation here for the senior, Emily Davis.
Emily Davis, the last hope with 2 outs. The pitch. Strike one on the inside corner. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Houston leads 5-3. Popped up to shortstop. And the Houston Hilltoppers have won the 4A state championship.
State 4A class champion.
Coach Keith Jernigan and senior leaders Haley Gravatt and the other Houston Lady Hilltoppers rejoice on the infield. Hugs for everyone as they will take the 4A state championship back home to Houston in a huge upset over nationally ranked and top 3 in the state ranked Newton County Lady Cougars in a 2-0 sweep of the best of 3 series.
A sweep indeed, shocking. This Newton County Cougar squad, as you said, Bryant, ranked high in the state, even ranked in some of the top polls in the nation as one of the best softball teams out there, and they are stunned with a sweep, just like you said. Houston came to this tournament. The Hilltoppers, Lady Hilltoppers came to this tournament. They meant business and have played a great game today, played a solid game last night, and they are state champions in 4A here in Mississippi.
If you're Coach Keith Jernigan, you could not ask for more from your girls as they win 5-3 this afternoon. 10-7 win last night against a really powerful and explosive Newton County team. The final line, as you can see it on your screen, Houston Hilltoppers 5 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Newton County only 3 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. Haley Gravatt, a fantastic day on the mound as she embraces what I'm going to believe is her dad, who came out to visit her just a little bit earlier, gives her a little pep talk, and you love to see it now as they embrace on the mound something you work all your life for, and she has achieved that moment here on the biggest stage. Does the senior and the Houston Lady Hilltoppers will take the 4A state championship back home to Houston, Mississippi.
Houston Hilltoppers 5-3 winners, 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for Houston, 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Newton County. And we are about to see the trophy presentation here at Freedom Ridge Park as the Houston Hilltoppers will be crowned the 2012 Mississippi 4A Fast Pitch Softball State Champions. Brian, a great game. Both teams played a great game, a great series, and just some lights out pitching performance from Haley Gravatt today. Ran into a little trouble here and there, but really had to kind of gather herself and step up, make plays, and some solid hitting all the way around. From Madeline Burdine, who played great in right field, but stepped up at the plate with the big single in the 6th and scored the go-ahead run, and what would prove to be really the winning run. But just a great performance across the board from these ladies. Audie Dendy played some solid first base. Madeline Burdine, as I mentioned, up as well, and just some great play today. Coach Jernigan has to be pleased with the performance from his Lady Hilltopper softball team.
Looking at some of the different statistics, Chelsea Gates, the shortstop, had 1 RBI back in the 3rd. Madeline Burdine, as you mentioned, playing a great job out there in right field, was 2 for 3 on the afternoon, had 2 RBIs back in the 2nd. And then Taylor Lancaster, incredible job by the freshman. She went 2 for 3 in the contest. Also had an RBI picked up that I guess would be accredited to Chelsea Gates, 2 RBIs in an unconventional fashion as Newton County comes back in the bottom of the 6th, or excuse me, the top of the 6th to tie the game at 3 apiece. And then in the bottom of that inning, Houston picks up 2 runs on 2 wild pitches from Darby Bishop, and they will take home the state championship as those two runs are the deciding factor, not the conventional way that you'd see that happen. We'll run through this lineup really, really quickly. We don't have all the names for you, but Chelsea Gates, Taylor Lancaster, Chelsea Robinson, Alexis Cooper, Lindsay Stantz, Avery Springer, Tristan Graves, Talaha Eccles, I hope I got that right, Zamia Mason, Yasmin Cooper, Shonda Maxwell, Alexis Doss, Mary Kansas Sullivan, also known as MK, Blakely Wright, Madison Bullard, Audie Dindy, Caitlin Abrams, Madeline Burdine, Alexis Machan, Whitney Crawford, Josie Anderson, Quenisha Pratt, Haley Gravatt, Jill Smith, Lisa Boyer, JD Laufenberger, and Caitlin Harden. Those are your 4A state champions from Houston. The Houston Lady Hilltoppers, coached by Coach Keith Jernigan, will take the trophy back home in a big upset over the ladies from Newton County.
Big win today. Great tournament, great action here in the MHSAA State Softball Tournament. Congratulations to the Houston Hilltoppers on being this year's 2012 4A Mississippi Girls State Softball Champions. Want to remind you that you can go to MISSHSAA.TV to order your copy of this broadcast to keep on DVD for years and years to come. A great win today, a great day to be a Houston Hilltopper, without a doubt. For Bryant May and our entire Play On Sports crew, I'm Justin Bennett. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year. This has been a presentation of Play On Sports right here on the MHSAA Network.